Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Urban Rap channel. We are on to episode number 8 of the podcast, and today's episode is on the worldwide sensation, even if I admit it myself, that is Drake. So first of all, let's say hello to the guys. We'll start with Bill today. Bill, how's it going?
Yeah, man, not bad. How you doing today? The weather's been quite shit this week, isn't it?
You know what? I got stuck in it on Saturday. I got stuck in it.
When it was torrential.
Yeah, I was in Surrey Hills, and literally we just got back in the car and it just poured down. I was like, shit, man.
That's peak.
It was all mad. But it looks a bit nicer today. Jack, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, man. How you, all right?
Yeah, good, man. Good. So I guess you two are sort of looking forward to this podcast. You know, being Drake fans and all that. No, fine. But first of all, guys, let's get into the news. And we're going to start with the big thing that's going on in the world at the moment. Obviously, the protests, Black Lives Matter. So over the last week since we last recorded, should we say, instead of when the podcast went out, a lot has happened. A lot more protests. There was Stormzy coming out with Anthony Joshua in Watford, Kanye in America come out. And that's just a few. I'm not going to name all of them to go through them, but there's been a lot more of a visual presence from, say, A-list celebrities and, just people of influence. So, we'll just go around again. Jack, what sort of things have you seen, you come across that you're maybe, really pleased that it's happening, or some things that you still think, nothing's changed? What's your sort of thoughts on what's going on?
Yeah, like you said, seeing celebrities coming out now, and obviously like Drake's donating and stuff like that as well. Yeah, man, it's just good to see the celebrities come out there and kind of get their voices across and stuff. But yeah, I've seen the same as you, really. I've seen more and more protests across London as well, which is cool. Mostly peaceful protests, which is good to see. But yeah, man, it's good to see the celebrities getting on and kind of getting their voices heard as well.
No, of course. You mentioned Drake obviously donating. A lot of people have. I know Michael Jordan gave a lot as well. He gave Kanye as well. I know Beyonce and Jay-Z between them gave a lot. Kendrick was out in force as well with a few NBA players over the last couple of days. Bill, obviously, there was a few scenes that we saw in London, if we're totally honest, in London over the weekend, like with the horse and things like that and whatever else. But just the overall sense, how to make you feel as someone, obviously, as we all are behind our cause, how does it make you feel like seeing a lot of people coming together?
I mean, it's good that everyone's coming together, and it's amazing how it's everyone versus racist that's still kind of going on. And it's good that most, 80% of the protests are peaceful. And it's good that the media are kind of giving it the amount of attention that it's currently getting. What I don't agree with at the moment is the fact that there's no word from the Prime Minister. So why is our Parliament not giving it the attention that it deserves? Donald Trump in America is making it 10 times worse, standing outside churches with Bibles, talking about God and stuff like that. It's the people that are actually in power that should be making a difference aren't making a difference. And that's quite appalling to see.
100% agree. I think that's the underlying message, I think, for most things that go on, be it protests, or anything else. The government as a whole has stayed so quiet in this, which is it's quite embarrassing, I think, for people of this country. You're led by this person, and whether you voted for him or not, it doesn't matter right now. What matters is the fact that he's in charge of the country, and he's just sort of hiding. Am I wrong to say hiding? It's really got to that stage, but I just had a quick look at my notes because I knew Michael Jordan done a lot. 100 million he donated. 100 million. I mean, I knew it was something like that. I didn't want to misquote. So 100 million he's donated. So you'd expect nothing less from someone like Michael Jordan. He's always, after he's left his NBA career, he's done a lot of charity-wise and things like that. So it is amazing to see. Look, the fight continues. The protest will continue. For those who are doing it the right way, keep going. I drove through London yesterday, Saturday early on, and all the police were out at 10 o'clock in the morning, getting ready for it almost. It's almost like they expected a big barrage of things, but it was 90% of the time, it was really well done. So look, we continue to support in our own ways. So just everyone out there, do what you can on your side as well. Going on to music news. So talk about a change of a tone. Tekashi 6ix9ine, right, he's always in the news. First of all, we'll shout him for one thing. He did delay his new song by a week because he said he wants to sort of show respect to the whole struggle and whatnot. So fair play, you know, he's done his bit. He's now been put out a video of him with Akon. I mean, a lot of people at the start of lockdown said, you know what, Akon streams are going to go up. And they did. So my guys jumped on with Akon and started remix Locked Up. Bill, straight back to you. What do you make? Is this a big marketing? What's he doing? What's going on? I love this guy. I can't lie. But what's going on?
Is he going to kind of go on a song like that and then start firing shots at people that are kind of hating on him once again? Obviously, where he's just come out of prison, he's been locked up. Is that the way they're going to remix it, or are they going to just literally remix it to be another banger as it was?
I ain't got a clue what he's going to do. I mean, I know separately here he took shots at Meek Mill, and I think it was it YG, was it Young Thug? I can't remember, one or the other. He took shots at them, but boy, that's pretty amazing. Jack, what was your thoughts when you saw the video?
Yeah, from the clip, like you say, like going back to Bill, there's a lyric in there, and it's like, it's kind of saying sorry for the things that I've done, but I don't know what he's kind of saying. Is he sorry for the snitching, or is he sorry for going in jail in the first place? So I can't kind of see what message that is at the minute, but yeah, man. I think the verse is hard, to be fair. I'm seeing a lot of hate on social media, a lot of Twitter people coming at Akon, like saying, what are you doing? Why are you getting on the track with him? But yeah, man, I thought his verse was all right.
I love 6ix9ine, so I was like, yeah, you keep going, man. But it was pretty mad. I saw one comment that said, Akon, why are you making a song with Billie Eilish for? I take the piss. I thought that was quite clever, fair enough. Look, he said he's got an album coming out. I can't wait. I'm a fan. Everyone knows I'm a fan, so I can't wait for that. But we'll end the week on this. This is big news, and it hasn't got the press around it and the sort of noise around it for obvious reasons, other stuff going on. But this is big news, right? So Wiley dropped his album, Godfather 3, right? But the big things, he said this is his last album. Jack, we'll start with you. You know, Wiley fan. You've said it from before. You know, you used to listen to him growing up. I did too. What's your thoughts on the fact, first of all, that could be his last album? Well, he says it is his last album.
Kind of, yeah, for what Wiley's done. If it is his last album, you can't say he's retired too early or he hasn't made enough tracks, because he has consistently put out music. But yeah, I don't think it'll be the last we hear from Wiley, though, because he's got too much to say for himself. And yeah, I listened to the album. It's pure grime, which is good, which is what Wiley would want to do anyway. But one track that stands out for me is the Eskimo Dance track, where it's just featuring new and old grime artists. Beat switches every 8 bars, and that's just what grime's all about, man. That's the standout track. But yeah, like I said, I don't think that's the last we'll hear from Wiley, 100%. I
definitely agree. Like you say, he's got too much to say. Bill, I mean, we know you're a Stormzy fan, but the beef has been squashed.
Yep.
It's done.
Has it?
It's been squashed. It has been squashed now. They've both come out and said it. So with your neutral hat on, what's your thoughts, obviously, with the idea that this guy who more or less started grime, you know, is hanging up his boots, should we say, you know, whatever sort of analogy you want to use.
As Jack said, he's got far too much to say all the time. You go on Instagram, Twitter every single day. There's 15, 20 tweets a day. He's commenting on everyone's Instagram posts. He's putting up stupid stories of himself in M&S. You know, I think you'll hear more from Wiley. He always says that, oh yeah, I'm not going to make music anymore. And he always comes back with something else. So.
No, fair enough. Yeah, he does seem to like M&S, but as a neutral podcast, there are other retailers available. So just, that was the news for the week. Right, here we go. We're going to get into the body of the podcast. And like we said, it's Drake. We're going to go through his studio albums. We're going to go through. We'll touch on a few of his mixtapes that he's done as well. But we're going to mainly focus on studio albums, have a little look at what we thought. No, it's no secret, I'm not a huge Drake fan. But what you'll notice is that it starts off really strong for me. I'm a big fan at the start, and then it sort of switches. But we'll go for it, give our sort of individual opinions. Maybe we'll even say which was the best sort of body of work or what era we thought he was the best in. And then we'll sort of go from there. So without further ado, shall we? I'm going to have to get it off my phone at the same time now, just so I'm in the same place as you. First off, Thank Me Later, 2010. Well, actually, you could even go before that and talk about his mixtapes that he done. Comeback Season was in there as well. Before that, Room for Improvement. So he had those as well. I mean, it's quite amazing. He had so much body of work, which people probably didn't realize first before he actually released his first studio album, which was quite interesting. But really quickly for me, Successful was such a banger on the mixtape. He had a lot of those. Take some time and have a look at those. But we will focus on the studio album, Thank Me Later. So, who wants to go first? What's your thoughts?
First of all, looking at the track list, it's solid. You've got Over, you've got Fireworks, you've got Unforgettable on there. Find Your Love, Uptown. You know, for his first studio album, it's got some songs on there I still listen to today. Do you know what? One of the funny ones on there that I'll probably say is one of my favorite tracks is actually Fireworks. It's one of them kind of slow songs, but I don't know.
You like your slow Drake songs, don't you?
I do like my slow Drake songs. I remember when one of the mixtapes come out and Passion Fruit was on there, and I used to love that tune.
Yeah, that's the era that when we get to, it'll be interesting. But no, it's a banging album. Jack, what's your thoughts on the album?
Yeah, I remember when it come out, man. I was already a bit of a Drake fan anyway, from obviously he signed to Young Money and stuff. And obviously Bedrock come out before that, so I was already a bit of a Drake fan. And obviously, like you say, the mixtape So Far Gone, that's probably one of his best mixtapes. And yeah, man, I remember just putting that on, and Fireworks is the first track, like you say, Bill, and that just stood out to me, man. It's got Alicia Keys on it. You think that's what a way to open your first studio album, with having a feature like Alicia Keys. But yeah, man, there's some classics on there, some absolute classics on there.
I mean, I think Over was probably, to this day, one of my favourite Drake songs, without doubt. Find Your Love, that was a very big song when it came out, because obviously you saw that he was more than just a rapper. You know, he could do his singing and whatever else. He could sort of switch it up.
You've actually also got Jay-Z on that album as well, funny enough. Both of us have failed to mention it.
Well, for my favourite song on there was actually the one with Lil Wayne, Miss Me.
Miss Me, yeah.
I love that song. They done a couple. Then I know Wayne put Drake on his one. They done She Will. Them two songs are probably two of my favourite collabs they've ever done. I love those two songs. But he started off strong. Let's not get it twisted. You know, he come in with Over. Best I Ever Had was around that time as well, or a bit earlier. Find Your Love just totally switched it. Like I said, all the ones in between. You guys listened to Fireworks, you mentioned, one with Jay-Z as well. I mean, it's a pretty solid start. So this was 2000 and, correct me if I'm wrong, 2010, I want to say?
Yeah,
2010. So I'm trying to think. Kanye was top of his game around then.
Yes.
You know, Wayne probably just finished the Wayne era. He was probably, I'd say 2005, 2006 to about 2009. I'd say Wayne was the best rapper in the world at that time for what he was doing, the albums he was dropping. Eminem just come back from obviously his own issues that he had. So it was a big, busy time for the scene back then. So for someone like Drake to drop his first album, such a good response as well. Pretty amazing to see. So it was a strong start.
What kind of certifications has that got, Sanj?
I don't even know, if I'm totally honest with you. I don't even know, but I'm pretty sure he done all right. I don't even know, and I'm not going to go through it, but you can definitely do that after. Well, I've got this though. In the first week, it sold just under 450,000 copies. Eventually sold 1.8 million.
Wow.
Not too bad. And it attained a platinum certification in Canada. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Not too bad, eh? He done all right, didn't he? He started off all right.
Yeah,
right. Who wants?
Little fish at the time, eh?
Yeah. Who wants to start with the next one? 2011.
2011, you know.
To this day.
Sanjay's favourite era from Drake. So I think Sanjay should start with this, man.
I'll talk about it all day by myself. Okay, so he dropped Take Care in 2011. Right, this is when there was no bigger Drake fan around than me in this era. I was bagging that Drake left, right, and centre. I can't lie. So let's quickly go into the track list, even though I probably know it all anyway. So it had the slow ones. We'll shout out for Bill straight away. Shot for Me, Marvin's Room, Buried Alive Interlude. It was quite dark, that one, if I remember right. It was quite a dark one, but I did actually like that one. And my favourite ever Drake song, Underground Kings, without a doubt. Nicki Minaj featured on it, on Make Me Proud, which Nicki Minaj, she went hard on that, can't lie. She spazzed on that. And Lord Knows featuring Rick Ross. Oh, there's some bangers then. You think you've gone past all the good ones, you think, yeah, that's it, that would do. You just go down a little more, and you get into, look what you've done. Hell yeah, fucking right. Practice was on there as well, Bill, one of your songs.
Yeah, I love that. My favorite album. I'm saying it now already.
And then bonus tracks, Hate Sleeping Alone, another slow one, which was a banger,
Yeah.
and The Motto. I mean, that's a pretty good album.
You only live once, yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good album.
Yeah, it was an amazing album. You think it's Take Care on there for itself is one of my favorite Drake songs, man. But yeah, like you say, you can put that album on from start to finish. You will not get bored of listening to that. That's I think that's Drake's probably his best album. But yeah, like The Motto, we had everyone screaming out YOLO for a good year at least. So he knows how to market things, doesn't he? He just knows how to get people and how to stay relevant. He knows how to get the people talking. But yeah, man, like you said, you've gone through the track listing already. It's absolutely solid.
It was just amazing. I just remember listening to it when it first came out, and I thought, this is ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, people were going mad about all the Hell Yeah, Fucking Right, The Motto, Practice was a big one when it first came out, Marvin's Room. They were all big. But the ones like Make Me Proud, Look What I've Done, Underground Kings, they sort of went, Lord knows as well, they sort of went under the radar a bit. I thought they were the best ones on it. I loved those songs. I thought they were amazing.
Definitely.
Bill, what was your thoughts on the album overall? I know when we done Desert Island ones, we were both close to it.
Yeah, I think this was I think I literally just changed it up just before we actually filmed, but it's a solid album. As you said, it's the track list kind of speaks for itself, really. You got Headlines in there, you got Practice, you got Marvin's Room. I love Marvin's Room, another slow one that I like. There's also another one on here. It changes. I think it's the Camera's Good Ones Go Interlude. It's like two songs in one, I think, and it kind of goes from really slow and then just kind of a beat kicks in.
Yeah, I remember the one.
Yeah.
Bill, I just want to point something out for you right now.
Go on.
When Dark Lane demo tapes come out, you didn't like it because it was too slow. And now you're saying you love Drake. Drake.
Oh, you got called out.
No, I don't know. I just don't like this. We'll come back. We'll come on it later.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah,
I don't like it. Man.
I'll give you time to think.
No, I've got to think of an excuse now.
Oh, he called you out on it, man. Boy, wow. Okay. What was the next one? 2013.
Yeah,
I think was the same.
yeah.
But okay, so this is when I went off Drake. This is my start of going off Drake. So I'll go through some of this. We each pick on songs, just a couple that I liked. There's not a lot, to be fair. Jesus, there's actually...
There's
okay, I can now say, after just looking through it, I didn't like any song on this album.
Oh, fucking hell. Come on, man.
The only one I didn't mind, and I say didn't mind, that's not like, was... I didn't like Worst Behavior. I didn't like Wu-Tang Forever. I didn't like Starting from the Bottom.
Like, come on, you got to like Pound Cake featuring Jay-Z.
Yeah,
I thought that was crap. Just Hold On, We're Going Home. That was my finishing set DJ song for my set. So when me and Jack used to go to place and DJ, that was our song that we'd end with. The one I liked was From Time with
Eco.
Yeah. That was one I did like. I actually didn't mind that one.
Yeah.
I didn't like the rest of the songs. So I'll let you two talk about it.
It was all right. To be fair, it was not as good as Take Care. Like for such a big album like Take Care, then that's the next one. And there was no projects in between and stuff. I thought it was a bit of a down step, but it doesn't mean it's a bad album for me. One of my favorites is Furthest Thing, the second track on the album, and it's got the reverse beat and then a beat switch up at the end, and that gets me every time, man. That's probably one of my personal favorites. But yeah, like I say, it's not a bad album. Too Much is one of my favorite tunes from Drake. I thought it was a decent body of work, but does not live up to Take Care.
I think it was always hard to follow Take Care. Whichever come next, I try not to compare them because it's different time, different era, different message. You know, he probably tried something different, which he did, as you can tell from the songs. So whichever come next was always going to struggle to live up to that. I didn't enjoy it. And what I will point out is some of the other albums that come out in 2013, Eminem released Marshall Mathers LP2. J. Cole with Born Sinner. A$AP Ferg released one. 2 Chainz released one. But the big one was obviously Jay-Z, Magna Carta Holy Grail, 2013. I mean, there was some decent albums coming across. That I think that was Eminem's first one for a while.
These come out round about the same kind of Magna Carta, and this came out round about the same month, I think, if I remember rightly.
I think.
I downloaded them
Can't
round about the same
remember.
time.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I'm just sort of going through.
I'm pretty sure they came out round about the same kind of time, and these were two I was listening to for a little while then.
So I mean, it was.
I think Drake's one come out a bit later in the year. I remember Jay-Z's was summertime.
So I think Drake's was the end of the year. When
I think about October, Drake one come out.
I remember going to Jay-Z's concert around about October time for the Magna Carta because he was doing a world tour on it.
Yeah, I think his album came out about June or July.
But
July and then Drake October.
Drake releases September 24th. So yeah, back end of September, start of October he released. Whereas Jay-Z released in, if it does load, it doesn't tell me. It released in July.
Oh shit!
So yeah, spot on, Jack. I mean, I'm not going to compare again because it's unfair. But Bill, what was your sort of underlying thought to the album?
To the album, favorite song on there, 100% is The Language. It's one where it's just really quick bars. And correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that's definitely my favorite song on the whole album. But as you said, kind of following up with Take Care, it's difficult. You know, the hype that had around it and the amount of kind of accolades that album had. This was never gonna kind of be on par with that. There's not many amazing features on here either. I mean, on the last one, you kind of had Andre 3000, Lil Wayne, Rihanna. This is what it's got Jay-Z on it and Maya Jordan. That's about it, I think. Oh, and then on the deluxe edition, you've got Big Sean and 2 Chainz. All Me, actually, that was another banger.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Nice, fair enough. We'll move on to a mixtape. So, is this the one that surprised everyone? Was it February 13th, 2015? The one that just come out of nowhere? I remember waking up in the morning, normal day. I must have logged on Twitter or something. And it just, everything was blowing up. I was like, what's going on? Yeah. Drake was trending, everything's going on. He just dropped an album overnight, like for us overnight here. I was like, I don't understand what's just happening. So it was a mixtape. So if you're reading this, it's too late. So we'll just touch. Well, actually, we'll do a bit more than touching it because it was a big deal at the time. I'm just gonna get mine out there now. Once again, I do not like anything on this album. Just double checking. Yep.
A legend. Come on, another slow song.
No, sorry. No, nothing. I just checked it. I like nothing on that album. So I'll let you two talk again. 2015. Yeah, sorry. I've totally gone off Drake at this point.
I remember waking up, and going into college, and my mate Addy was like, "You seen Drake's album?" I was like, "We talk about Drake's album. And there's nothing." And he was like, "Go on to this website, and it's on there." So I loaded this website up, and I was like, "Hey, this guy's not even fucking lying. There's a new album out." I downloaded it, put it on my phone, and Legend, the first song on there, my favourite song on there. You've got 10 bands on there. You've got 6 God on there. You've got it's a brilliant mixtape.
Jack, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like when I saw it, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, do you know what I mean? And then I put it on, like, I think I had Apple Music at the time. I don't know if Apple Music was that actually.
No,
something. I remember listening to it. It must have been on an iPod. And then, Legend, like, opening track again, Bill. That is a sick track. But I think it was why he released it so abruptly was get out of his contract with Cash Money. Yeah. I mean, obviously we knew about the Lil Wayne, what was going on with him. And then Drake, he had one album left. So I think he just put this together, released it, and that was his deal done. And I think that's the reasoning behind the name. Forgive me if I'm wrong. If you're reading this is too late, I've gone off the album now. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, shit, I never clocked that, you know?
Yeah. So that's kind of my taking of it. But yeah, I thought it was a sick album, man. And that was a total different mood for Drake. That's like the new Drake. Do you know what I mean? Like, he went from all the soft singing stuff, and then he comes back with this hard-hitting mixtape with Running Through the Six. Is that Know Yourself? I think that's Know Yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was a hard mixtape, man. Hard mixtape.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
You hate Sanj too much. You hate so much.
No, I'm not hating. I'm giving my opinion. All right. Right. The next one was another mixtape back into the year. This way, Drake. He brought me back.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, I'm back. I was back. All right.
I'm hating on this one.
Because Future's there. All right. Everyone knows I'm a big Future fan. So, mixtape from Drake and Future. What a time to be alive. Back end of September. September 2015. So we're going through the tracks as always, but ones that stick out for me, Big Rings was one of my favorite songs. I love that song. Jumpman, of course, was on there, which everyone just fell in love with. The big one for me was actually Drake on his own, and that was the 30 for 30 freestyle. That was amazing. You know, it reminded me of the old Drake that did.
Yeah.
You know, it took me back to 2010. You know, that's why I liked it a lot. It wasn't what he sort of touched on and then has really sort of gone into later on in his career, where sort of, I don't want to use the word girl tunes, but I'm going to. So I think it really did sort of take away from that and go back to the old raw Drake, which I really liked. But yeah, what was your guys' thoughts on the mixtape? Sorry, joint mixtape.
Yeah, again, loved it.
Yeah.
One for me was I'm the Plug. That was a good one for me. Sanjay already touched the ones that I like as well. But yeah, man, this was like 2015 was the year of Drake becoming this next level superstar kind of thing. I think he was the first hip hop artist to have 2 #1 albums for about 10 years or so in America, which is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Even though we say it's a mixtape, they're still going to the top of the charts. And who else can do that?
No, 100%. I'll definitely agree with that. I think this was really the era. I think 2015, 2016 was when Drake, everyone knew he was a star. Don't get me wrong. Everyone knew he was worldwide sensation. I don't think everyone realized that he's actually going to become a superstar, a world certified superstar. And this was 2015, 2016, whatever you think of the albums, they took him to that next level, put him on the pedestal to say, right, this is my time. Bill, you said you weren't too keen on it.
No, man. To be honest, I don't think I listened to it that much. I think the only song on there was Jumpman. And I don't think I've listened to the album at all, actually. I think I listened to it once or twice and I don't remember it at all.
Fair enough. Well, it was a mixtape, so we'll go back to the albums now, and we go to 2016. Right, okay, this is when I'm fully against Drake now. So we go to April 2016. I believe this was the one he said he worked on for the longest time period wise. If I remember an interview right, I might be totally wrong. So we had on here. Well, first of all, the ones that I'm going to pick out are the ones that I liked. I guess I liked Hotline Bling. I did like when it first came out, right? But I liked the song, but I hated the video. And let me tell you why, right? And Jack is going to back me up on this as well. So for years before, I was going out wearing big jumpers, right? And Timberlands, yeah? And everyone's like, what you doing? You don't work on a building site. What's this swag about? My man comes out with a big coat, a big jumper, wears his Timberlands. And everyone's like, oh, look at his swag. Bro, shut up, man. I was doing that time ago.
Bro, you had a fucking jumper with a picture of him on it.
No, I didn't have a picture of him in it.
I had that.
Jack had that.
It
was his Christmas one. I just had the big oversized jumpers all the time.
Yeah,
and you wearing Timberlands.
That was the swag of Jay-Z, mate. Back in the early 2000s. You was on that.
I was on that first. Everyone's like, what you did? And then he brings out this song when a big oversized red jacket, guess who's got one? You know, Timberlands, oversized jumper, guess who wears that? And bro, everyone said, oh, look at your swag. When I do it, no, you look like a builder.
Yeah, but then you started going out, still wearing that same swag, and they're saying, you look like Drake in the Hotline Bling video.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. When people say that to me, I was like, yeah, I'll take it. It was mad. It was a mad time. So that one, I did like this song. Too Good. For anything he ever collabed with Rihanna, I always liked. Here's the one that, by the way, I didn't like any of the other songs, except for, we're going to get onto One Dance, I'm sure you'll both rave about it in a minute, which he stole the hook from. Anyway, Controller. Right. Here's my thoughts. We were out in a club in Romford, and the DJ said, here's a worldwide exclusive, right? Because it had just come out, it just dropped at the time, no one heard it. And he dropped Controller. Now, there was Popcorn on that song at first, and he took him off. That's why I got no love for Drake on this album, because that was the best part of this song. Popcorn just switched up. Yeah, that became a remix, but it was on the original first. So that's why I don't like it. But the rest of the album is not for me.
There's 2 tracks on there. Popstar originally had Jay-Z and Kanye West on it.
Yeah.
The album comes out and they're both dropped off the track. And then obviously One Dance, like you say, Controller, should I say?
Controller,
Yeah, it comes out. We hear it months before the album drops, and then the album drops, and it hasn't got him on it.
He's gone.
It's a fucking banger, but yeah, it's just weird, man, the way he took them off. I don't even know the reasoning behind why he took anyone off these albums, but
no idea.
Yeah, it was a weird time. But Hotline Bling, like you say, the video, I love the video, and that's the thing why I say Drake is sick at marketing, because he knew how to get people talking, and that's when memes started blowing up, and he knew he would be turned into a meme.
That meme is still going on today. His meme, that video, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I don't like the Controller on him by himself. The song Controller him by himself, I don't really like that one. But I don't like the rest of the album, to be fair. But that's just me being
I do not like Hotline Bling.
You don't like Hotline Bling?
I don't like Hotline Bling.
You liked it when it came out, though.
Yeah,
because it's overplayed.
I was going to say exactly that. Do you think you don't like it because it's overplayed?
One, it's overplayed and it's very repetitive.
But you like Jumpman?
Yeah, I'm gonna contradict myself again, right?
Jumpman was overplayed.
No. I'm gonna.
And it was repetitive. And it was the people dabbing like, hey.
I'm gonna contradict myself. Yeah, Grammys featuring Future, solid fucking banger on here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but their mixtape was crap, right?
Yeah, the mixtape was dead. Yeah, but Grammys on here was a banger. Fire and Desire.
I said it before, right? Drake and Future work so well.
Sick.
Even to this day, man. Apart from in 2020, when they release songs, you know, the whole world fucks up.
No,
life is not good. Life is not good at the minute.
They're so good together. Even their videos are just funny as well, man. They're so good together, them two. I think they actually. Don't be wrong. Drake is doing pretty all right by himself, and so is Future. To be fair, obviously different levels, but when they collab, I just think they bring the best of each other. It just sounds so good, so crisp when they're on the track together. It's just, I think it's brilliant. But Phil, did you like the album as a whole?
As a whole, this was one of them albums where I think I didn't stop listening to it for a couple of months. It was on repeat constantly. As you said, it's got, well, you don't even like any of the songs, to be honest, but Controller, One Dance, Too Good, Fire and Desire is another really underrated song on there. It's got some decent quotes in there as well, if you're ever looking for one of them quotes for your Instagram.
So, 2016, just going to run through really quickly. Life of Pablo, Kanye West.
They come out. I think it was the same month.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a couple of weeks, wasn't it? A couple of weeks difference.
Yeah,
Chance the Rapper's dropped Colouring Book. Kendrick Lamar, he's dropped Untitled Unmastered, was it? Unmastered one.
That was another abrupt album that just came out.
Just...
Or EP, I don't know, it was something like that.
Was it Travis Scott released one as well? Is it Birds in the Traps? Something or another he released, if I remember.
Later on in the year, I'm sure.
Later on in the year.
That was about September.
Massive one that released was DJ Khaled, Major Key. That was a brilliant album. For me, that was the best album of the year, but I am biased because I love DJ Khaled. But yeah, so it was a big year. It was a big year for albums. Sorry?
And, you think that was a massive year? And you think, like, we're talking about Drake, he's coming off the back of Work coming out with Rihanna, and that was easily one of the biggest songs. Until now, that was still bang on a night out, and that was still bang in the clubs. But one thing about 2016 from Drake was when he performed at the Brit Awards with Rihanna, come straight out of that performance and went to the Section Boys.
Section Boys.
And that was one of my highlights of that year. Wishing we went.
That was amazing. What was it? I swear it was like £10 a ticket. And he just turned up. And it was nuts because obviously it was late on the night. And it was one of those, again, you wake up to. Yeah, and your Insta's blowing off, your Twitter's blowing off, whatever else. And you just think, what's going on? I'll be honest, right? I thought this is not right. There's something not right about this. This can't be real. You know, the first thing you think, why has he gone to, with all due respect, a Section Boys concert? You know, I guess that was probably the only one that was still going on at that time. That's probably why. But he just come out and it was mad. I remember when they first brought him out. It was just absolutely nuts.
The crowd mood just went.
Lost their shit, didn't they?
I think they brought Skepta out first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Connection with Skepta and Drake. I think that's how, obviously, Drake ended up turning up there. Would have been mad to see Rihanna come out as well. But...
Can you imagine that at a Section Boys concert, Rihanna? I think that'll be some after party. So we then go on to mixtape in 2017, which is More Life. Yeah. Instant thoughts on More Life.
I love this mixtape.
Yeah, I do. I like it as well. It's like a, you know, like the Apple Music playlists. it's just like it takes you through different genres. You've got a little bit of everything on there. You've got features on there. You've got like a Skepta's own track. I think Georgia Smith's got her own track on there, which kind of made her go to another level with her career. Who else is on there?
You've got Gigs on there. You've got Kanye West on there.
Yeah.
Sampha on there. Travis Scott. Quaver.
Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, like you say, it is a playlist. And it is a solid mixtape for me as well. It did take music into a different kind of direction as well. Like I say, with a playlist era, it kind of did take music from going from mixtapes into playlists and having different kind of genres and different things. Because people get bored now. People throw away music quicker than ever, and people won't listen to a whole album, a whole mixtape anymore. I think what he done with that kept you in the like the whole album kind of thing. Keeps you listening with the different switch ups.
It's one of them ones, as we always kind of say, how an album or a mixtape or something should take you on a journey, and it kind of takes you for a journey of all different kind of genres. You've got UK on there for some reason. Drake's obviously delving into the UK market at this point. You've kind of got your slow songs with Passion Fruit, and it kind of just carries on going down to rap, and it's just a journey of kind of songs, rap, UK.
I think this mixtape, it got 150 million plays in 24 hours, which was, it smashed a whole nother level with that. Do you know what I mean? It did do. I see Sanjay just looking not impressed.
I hated this. I hated it.
I'm trying to pick him up and you're putting me off.
I hated it, man. Oh, there's not one.
He won 13 musicals.
Oh, I don't care, man. Lady Gaga's number one. Lady Gaga's number one at the moment. She's shit as well. I don't care what they won. Oh, I'm not feeling this. Like, I'm trying to think if there's a song I like. KMT was a pure hype song. I don't think it was a good song. It wasn't a good song.
Yeah, it just turned up.
So. What else was there? I love Travis Scott and Quaver, both of them. I didn't like that song. And then there was it Fake Love on here?
Fake Love's on there, yeah.
I hated that so much. I could say I hated that song, right? Because everyone said it was so good and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was good about it. I really didn't like it. You know what, actually, since Way Back, featuring Party Next Door, I didn't mind that song.
Yeah.
I like Party Next Door. I didn't mind that song, to be fair. Because obviously they'd done a few bits before as well. Like Tuesday they done as well. And a few others they done. So I always liked when them two collabed as well. Obviously he was signed to Drake as well for a while. But
still signed to Drake.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. I didn't.
What did you think of the J-Lo switch up? Teenage Fever.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
I know you're a big J-Lo fan.
I know, that hurts. It hurts.
What your thoughts on that?
Man, could they do some fake relationship for the media at that time and all that nonsense, man? He wasn't piping her. Anyway, that's not the point. So basically, I just didn't enjoy it, right? It just wasn't me, man. It wasn't me. It banged for a lot of people. Like, was it Downchester as well?
Yeah, that's a big one.
I remember you lot raving about that one at the start. That and Passion Fruit was the ones that everyone went on about.
Passion Fruit, man.
I came back to it. I remember going back to it, like listening to it and having my favourites at the time, and then coming back to it and then finding more songs that I didn't necessarily like in the first place, and then come back and then hear another one. But that's what you get when you listen to a playlist, isn't it? So
that's exactly it. Your mind will change a couple of times, which is there's nothing wrong with at all. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we move on to Drake's final studio album. Well, to date, which is Scorpion. So I need to remind myself of this, to be totally honest.
I'm going to let Bill start for this one.
Yeah, Bill, go on, you go.
Do you know what? It wasn't one of the greatest, I don't think. No. Do you know what? After that mixtape came out, I loved that mixtape. And then this come out, and I don't think the only one on there is what God's Plan. And Mob Ties, that's not a bad song. Apart from that, there's nothing I'd kind of say, do you know what, I'm gonna whack that in my playlist. It's not one of them kind of typical Drake song albums, I don't think, to be honest.
Did you not like Nice for What?
No.
I mean, I didn't, but I thought you might.
Why do you think I like all these catchy songs?
Because You're young. You listen to that stuff, innit? You like Stormzy. That's why.
That Stormzy's fucking sick. That's why.
No, he's not. Yeah, but he's commercial. You like all the commercial songs.
Yeah, I like all the commercials. No, look, I don't like this. I don't like this album at all. And as Jack touched on earlier, I don't like his latest project at all.
Jack, thoughts on Scorpion?
You know what? I'm with you, Bill. I'm with you. There's a handful of songs that I'll probably say I like off of there, and that's probably the ones that are obviously God's Plan, obviously the Nice for What. But then I've got the ones like Blue Tint, which has Future in the background. Again, because of Future. After Dark's a good tune. It's got Ty Dolla $ign on there. That's an old school R&B sounding track, which is why I like that one. But yeah, it's just one of them albums. I couldn't really get into it. I mean, it's too long for me. I mean, there's the March 14th. I mean, I listened to that one just for the lyrics. And obviously he touches on his son and stuff like that after getting called out by Pusha T. In My Feelings was on there, Bill. You must have liked that one.
Oh yeah, In My Feelings was a banger.
That's the birth of City Girls.
And obviously you've got Don't Matter to Me with Michael Jackson, not even featuring Michael Jackson.
I remember Instagram going crazy for that. When they saw Michael Jackson coming on a feature, mate, on a Drake album. But it weren't, I didn't think it was all that.
You can't even hear Michael Jackson on it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's like an unreleased Michael Jackson verse chorus kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I weren't feeling it. I ain't gonna lie, I weren't feeling it. He's got Jay-Z on there though. He's got Jay-Z on there, obviously after they had a bit of a falling out. So it's nice to see that come back in.
Just a quick one on 2018. Travis Scott released Astro World, so Drake obviously had a big feature in there, so he sort of saved himself for this for the year. Cardi B dropped Invasion of Privacy. Pusha T, as you mentioned, sent for Drake. He released Daytona back then as well. So a couple of big ones was KOD, J. Cole.
Yeah.
That was a big album. Migos released another one. Meek Mill released Kamikaze by Eminem.
Yeah.
It's a big one, but probably the biggest one of the year, well, I'm a bit biased, as always, is Lil Wayne, The Carter 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a huge album. For me, that was, along with Kamikaze, was probably album of the year for me. I'd probably... Then you did have people like Little Baby come and release, so it was sort of going to that new era as well then.
Yeah.
Like mumble rap, it's a whole nother debate, mumble rap and whatever, but this was, I guess, the time, 2017 onwards was... And 2018, obviously, where this was, it was a time when they really started, not taking over, because that's the wrong phrase, because they haven't taken over, but they really come into sort of media's eye, the public eye. You know, they really did start to come through. So Migos obviously were around before that as well. But people like DaBaby, you know, Lil Uzi Vert, I think was getting big in 2018 as well. It was a bit of a shift. So, you know what, it was... For you two both to say he wasn't your favourites is it's a big thing to say, but no, fair enough. So
for 2018, I think it was the year of Kanye. Let's just say he had a whole month or two releasing an album every week that he'd produced. So obviously he brought out the Ye album, by himself. He brought Tiana Taylor's album out, Pusha T's album. He brought out the Kids See Ghosts album with Kid Cudi, which I think was probably one of his best albums ever for the creativeness. And I'm sure there's someone else. I'm sure he done 5. I think it was Nas.
Yeah.
It's the whole album for Nas. So it's a 5-week run. Every Friday, Kanye West released the album produced by him. And that's all I remember 2018 for.
No, fair enough. He smashed it.
Yeah, it was a big year for him. And I know kind of Bill's shaking his head at me because you don't like the Ye album, but you can't deny the production levels was off the chain, man.
Nas's album's hard, but that wasn't for me, man.
You're not allowed to talk about Nas. You didn't put me in the top 10.
Yeah, you can't talk about Nas.
You're not allowed to talk about Nas. The rules.
That was a massive time for Kanye. But produce an album every week for 5 weeks, man, is crazy.
Yeah, but
he smashed it.
I suppose coming towards near the end now, you kind of got to say that Drake from 2010 to still present, it's like the era of Drake, like 2010 to 2020. This 10 years,
whole 10-year run.
Smashed it for 10 years.
And that's why, obviously, in the earlier podcast, I put him in my top 10 because he's consistently brought out banger after banger. Even if an album doesn't bang, he'll still bring out something that will bang and will get him onto that next level still. He knows how to get people to talk about him. He knows how to stay relevant. Do you know what I mean? He'll switch up his style when he needs to. Obviously, like you say, the whole mumble rap culture that come about, and Future's obviously at the forefront of that. Why is Drake rolling with Future? Mumble rap's banging. Do you know what I mean? So
that is one thing he does quite a lot, though.
What's that?
That's one thing he does quite a lot. He kind of jumps on what's relevant.
Yeah, and I know he gets a bit of stick for that, but how else are you going to stay relevant? Let's be real.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, I'm one of Drake's biggest fans, but I suppose he does jump on like the UK quite a bit. He jumps on the mumble rap culture, whatever is relevant at the time. You will see Drake kind of repping. Like, he came over and done a Fire in the Booth. He's done a link up. What are they called?
Behind bars.
Behind bars, where he goes at Kanye West because they had that disagreement, didn't they?
Yeah. And they went at each other for a lot.
Kanye never fired back, man.
Kanye did.
What did he fire back on?
He fired back on Life of Pablo. There's a few bars on there.
But didn't fucking Drake help like produce or write or something? Yay.
No.
That was what it was about.
There's a shot on Ye. There's something on there. There is a few disses on Ye. But yeah, Kanye did come back, man. Kanye did come back at him.
Yeah, Kanye's not one to let things lie. He definitely come back.
And there's another thing. Do you remember what's the Poop Diddy Scoop song by Kanye West? The story behind that is that beat was actually produced by Kanye and it was meant to be for Drake. Yeah. And obviously when they had the big falling out, Pusha T obviously coming at Drake, Kanye West just dropped that track with those lyrics on it just to piss Drake off, basically. So that's another big shot there from Kanye.
He's always been very calculated in what he does, Kanye. He's quality as well. But not go too much into the last one because I think the general consensus from everyone is pretty much saying it's not his strongest mixtape. Dark Lane demo tapes. I think we can all sort of agree, you know, what we think about it. But obviously, I'm gonna let Jack have his pop-up bill now for what he said earlier. So I
want to know this.
No. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you before I get this pop because I've got another 2 minutes to think about it. You forgot one. The Care Package came out 2019 all on streaming platforms. All of these mixtapes, best songs, all onto.
It was.
Let me have a look. You lot talk.
That was more unreleased songs that kind of come around, and we heard them, but they never got released. I think, and then they kind of just dropped.
The Motion, Trust Issues, 5 a.m. in Toronto, Club Paradise, Girls Love Beyonce.
Yeah. They were like kind of ones that you've heard them, they're on YouTube or they've been leaked somewhere, but they never actually come onto I think The Motion was on an album, but other than that, there's not really a lot.
Yeah, you could never kind of find it. I remember when I used to always want to listen to Girls Love Beyonce. Never find that shit anywhere.
Never find that. It was good for him to do it. I mean, that gets him the streams rather than
of course
on YouTube.
So go on, Bill. The last one.
Name
yourself. So you like all his slow songs, but you don't like a slow mixtape?
No, I don't like a slow mixtape. No, do you know what? I just don't like it. It kind of come out of the blue, didn't it?
Like a lot of Drake projects.
Yeah, a few of them have.
It came out of the blue. I remember listening to it a couple of times, and I couldn't feel it, man. I just couldn't get. There was like 2 songs in there, and I can't remember what they're called because I haven't listened to it. But normally with a Drake project, you go on to like Spotify's top kind of songs. You go on to Apple Music's top songs, like New Fire, top hip hop playlists. None of them are on there, man.
They were.
Well,
Slide was at the top of agenda for how long?
I normally listen to New Fire, and I couldn't. He weren't on there at all. If he was, I must have skipped through it.
I remember hearing the Chicago freestyle, and that come out as a kind of a video at the start of the year, and I remember hearing that, and then that switches up into I think it's When to Say When, and I thought that was hard, man. And he obviously quotes Eminem in there with the old Superman lyrics, which I thought was hard. I don't think it's one of Drake's best projects. I can't say it's that good, but the one with Chris Brown I like. The more I've listened to it, I've liked it more. Desires is a good one. And Playboy Carti, man, he had the most talk around his name for that verse that he dropped on that, which was ridiculously bad. His baby voice.
It was pretty interesting. I remember when I heard it, I was like, I don't really know what's happening there.
I didn't know. I was having that album on, yeah, and I was doing something like painting, yeah, because I've been bored in lockdown, guys. And I just heard this fucking baby voice, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on?
I think some adverts come out of Apple Music.
I was like, what is this? And then I saw Playboy Carti.
Yeah, it was not great. But yeah, look, that's Drake Soul. Look, in terms of other bits, features, things like that, what he's done, you could talk about it forever. There's a lot of stuff he's done with DJ Khaled. I'm on one comes to mind.
Yeah.
For free. There was a hell of a lot that obviously come through, which he's been all over the place. You can't deny his star power. We'll say that. And we had to edit a lot from a previous podcast because we sort of went on for ages talking about Drake. We've got, I'd say we've probably got about 5 minutes to sort of go for it quickly. So look, people will say I'm a hater, and maybe I am. Essentially, I don't hate Drake. I just don't like his music. You heard it from the podcast. You know, everything from 2011 backwards. That really gives you about 3 years. You know, I'm a big fan, without a doubt. I just don't like his new stuff. I think his lyrics have dropped. You know, I think when he was doing Over, I mean, yes, okay, he took a sample from Dead Prez, I know. But when he was doing Over, Best I Ever Had, all those sorts of things, Underground King, his lyrics were ridiculously good. They still are. Don't get me twisted. Don't get twisted. They're still decent. I just don't think they're as raw and as clean cutting and crisp as they used to be. I don't think they sort of hit hard as much as they do now. I think the things he talks about now, which in the last album, his lyrics are not too bad. Sorry, the last mixtape, his lyrics ain't too bad, you know, which you wouldn't expect anything less from Drake. I would never think of Drake and think, you know, shit lyrics. I just think they're not great. You know, his lyrics not too bad. I just think what he's talking about now, that's not the Drake I know. Right, okay, I know he moves with the times. Yeah. But you guys both know how I feel about when he jumps on UK stuff. I mean, it's probably the best time to say it now. When we all went to BBK Takeover, you know, it was all mad. You know, there was brilliant artists there, and then Drake come out because he headlined, was it Reading and Leeds? It was Reading, obviously, that time. He headlined Reading, and he come down on stage, and I just knew it. I had a feeling. I said it to both of you early in the night. I said, if Drake comes out, I'm going home. And you're like, no, you're not going home. You're not going home. I went home. I left. He come out, I left. I walked out. All right? I walked out a BBK, which I paid, I think about £30 for. And Drake come out, so I got to see Drake for £30. I walked out. I didn't see that dickhead.
I won't forget that. Yeah, I think we were all sitting in, like, standing in the O2. Yeah, and I was on Twitter, and I was like, oh shit, Drake's come out with gigs at Reading.
Yeah, we knew from that point.
No, we didn't know. And then they done a song that was featuring, I think it was JME featuring gigs.
Yeah,
and
I knew it.
Gigs came out.
As soon as
I just turned around and I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was like, fucking Drake's coming out. He's going to come out.
Yeah.
I walked off.
And I remember, me and Jack were fucking so happy. But I don't know what happened to you. I think
I got on the train. The train was so quiet leaving the O2, but there was no one there because everyone was watching Drake. I was gone. I walked past the security guard. He was like, "Is this not finished yet?" I went, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "It's finished for me. I'm gone." I'm back.
Ended with some Boy Better Know track that Drake comes out, finishes his set, and then there's some Boy Better Know track playing.
What's it, Workout or something like that?
I thought it was called Run Like an Athlete.
Run Like an Athlete. Fucking.
And we did not know what it was, and it totally dampened the mood a little bit. It did dampen it.
Look,
that's the thing. I think when he jumps on the UK stuff, that's just where I just sort of. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. It's great for the UK scene. I'm not going to deny it. Yeah, it is. It is great that someone like Drake has done it. I just think there's a limit. Like the Section Boys thing was like one of the first things he done. That was brilliant. Come out on a random show, come out and done it. Cool. But then it was just like almost everything. Then he started using words like waste man, and it's just like it just don't work. First of all, don't work with your accent. And secondly, it's just like. No, you know, stick to what you know. It's a bit like with the Stormzy argument, right? And Skepta one when they go to America. We say, well, when I say we, me and Jack say Skepta took grime there. Yeah. But then we also say Stormzy brought in to America. Yeah, there's a difference, right? He didn't take grime with him. He brought into it in America. Yeah. That's what I think Drake was doing. He didn't bring America here. It didn't need to be, don't get me wrong. But he didn't bring Drake, the idea what we knew Drake was here. He just started acting British. And it was like, no, don't do that. Bring what you have, that amazing star power, star talent, you know, bars for days and rare tear. Bring that here. But he didn't. He just tried to sound a bit British.
Yeah, that's it. And I
That
think
was my argument.
done what Kanye done at the Brits. So when he done All Day, he had the whole grime scene in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That done more for the scene for me.
Yeah, that done a lot for the scene. And I think that's how Skepta got his power over in America. You know what I mean? Because he's seen on stage with Kanye West. I think Stormzy was even on the stage with Kanye West. And then that kind of blew them up. But do you know what I mean? He done it subtly. He gave them love, and he put their names onto the Brit Awards. Do you know what I mean? Like something that wasn't happening for our scene then. And then, I think Drake just took it that step too far. Like I rate him for doing the Top Boy stuff and putting, because we would not have the new season of Top Boy.
Yeah, 100%.
I rate him for kind of the Dave tune, because I thought that kind of worked each way. The one
I don't like Dave either.
Yeah, I know you don't like him, but I think that blew up.
Yeah, no, definitely it did.
And that kind of works as a track between them two. And that when he's like you say, he starts taking the culture and stuff. That's what we don't like. And a lot of people don't like that. But I do respect him in ways, and in other ways I think he's taking the style a little bit.
No, definitely. It's you can't deny star power. You can't deny what Drake has done for the industry. I'm not talking UK or US. I'm talking the whole industry. You can't deny what he's done. The influence he has on people. The fact that people, I'd always think people have made it when you say, "Oh, that's a Drake flow. That's a Chris Brown flow," because it's their flow now. When you hear it, you think, "Right, that's theirs." Like on one of the reaction videos, guys, I say Angel sounded like he just took a Chris Brown flow on the 8 or 9 remix when he comes in. Because you close your eyes, you think that was got to be Chris Brown. It's his flow. Drake has that. Let's not get it twisted. He has that.
Oh yeah.
He's delved into so many different pies in terms of genres as well. Be it UK, be it back when in America when he's doing pure rap, hip hop. You call it R&B to an extent, soft rap, whatever you want to call it. He's done all of that. He has worked with people like Popcorn, the dancehall industry, the hip hop industry, the grime industry as a whole. But you two are massive fans, so I'm not going to end this podcast on a downer. I'm going to let you two end it with your final thoughts. Drake, last 10 years, you'll both say the best, without a doubt. How good is Drake, and will he go down as one of the GOATs?
Yes, 100%, man.
I think
there was one year he kind of won. Did he win Man of the Year? Didn't he? It was that 2014. I think he won Man of the Year. And he
that's like the only year he didn't release anything, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think he won like Man of the Year like 2014, 2015. But he's definitely going to go down as one of the GOATs, man. Like, you go through this, and every album has about 4 to 5 different songs, and not even like that. It's the whole album. Could even just be a total playlist. And okay, Take Care, it's definitely by far the best studio album he's released out a lot. And the project after that and the mixtape after that weren't the greatest, but yeah, man, it's kind of, you lose words when you talk about him sometimes.
Jack?
I think, he probably will be a GOAT, but it all depends on his next couple of projects now, because you're going to be known by Scorpion, and then if he releases another last album, and then another one after that, you're just going to be known for your shit work. Do you know what I mean? So then you can't be classed as a GOAT. And then it kind of depends on the longevity of the music in another 10 years or so. So I think he probably will be. He's definitely a top 10 of all time. It just depends on what he releases next, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because if you start releasing shit tracks now and shit albums, then you're never going to be classified as one of the greatest artists. And then you can't look at his discography and say, he's got 3 albums that are good, but then he's got 3 albums that are shit. So do you get it?
Yeah, no, definitely 100% agree with you.
For me, he's always a top 10, but for him to break into that top 3 or 4.
Definitely. Obviously, he's definitely got one album coming up probably back into this year. And I'm sure it's not the last we've heard of Drake anyway. One word answer, right? So bear in mind that obviously he's got a couple to come out. If, let's say worst case scenario, the next couple of albums are good, just good. In your heart, Do you two ever think he'll reach the heights of Eminem and Jay-Z? One word answer. Jack, go.
No.
Bill?
No.
Fine, we'll leave it there. That was not a setup, by the way. I didn't actually ask him that before. So, look, guys, that was our thoughts on Drake. Go through his career. Look, star-studded career, exceptionally talented individual, and fair play to him for everything he's doing. Once again, guys, just make sure you are giving all your support to the Black Lives Matter movement. And look, we'll see you again next week when hopefully we will have a Takeshi 69 song to review. Until then, stay safe and see you soon.